All right, thank you for staying with the Monday Report Town Hall session. We're talking about waste management and the circular economy. And now let's bring in the audience here. And I'll start from you, and then we'll take as many questions as possible. Just keep it under 1 minute. Kindly write down your questions, then you'll respond at the end. Yes.
Thank you very much. I am Peter Biwott. I'm the MD of Eldoret Water and Sanitation Company. My first comment, not a question, is that we need a robust institutional framework where we can do what we call multi-agency approach, because the issue of solid waste management also touches on other sectors like public health. And then maybe we can come up with Nyumba Kumi when it comes to issues of solid waste management for commercial viability, so that we can even have pins to segregate. And then maybe like Kigali in Rwanda, we can have a culture of clean up the city maybe once in a week, for everybody to have a responsibility in that regard. And maybe, because this is a capital-intensive sector, the issue of resource mobilization, just looking for funds from private and public sector organizations and companies which are in the city. And maybe finally, many companies have social investments or CSR, what we call responsible social corporates. If we can be able to talk to our corporates in this town, maybe Riply, maybe Rivertex, they should be able to help us to come up with the pins and also to support solid waste management initiatives, because solid waste is a menace in this context. As I conclude, emission of greenhouse gases. When you have a heap of solid waste, you are emitting greenhouse gases, will not have a sustainable city, and therefore will contribute to climate change. Thank you.
Brilliant. Where's the other microphone? You can pass the microphone back there to him. He's over there. I think he has a very burning concern. Yes. Where's the other microphone? Just start with raising your name. Say your name. Yes, let's go. Say your name and state your point.
I'm Francis Muya, MCA Langas. I represent an area which is an informal settlement. I have a concern, Waziri, that we are here talking about solid waste management, and from the institutional memory that I have, the former government had initiated the issue of some Swedish company to install a machine at a dump site. In fact, the county government had used public resources to take the county official 2 or thrice, but nothing has happened. How far are we? Because we should be very concerned with public money usage. To the director, Nema, thank you. I've heard you saying about the issue of bin. I remember the former CEC environment had introduced the same all over in the city, and the people can bear me witness. But today, it's either none or we don't have. Surely, how truthful are we that we intend to initiate this, and yet somebody had initiated and it is nowhere to be seen? Finally, Waziri, there is some companies that are being used to collect solid waste in estates like Langas, and it is not from the people from there. Why can't we use as a county government? They use there because they are jobless, so that we can empower them and to make sure that they gel well with the tenants, to make sure that at least they help us in collecting the same. Thank you.
All right. Pass the microphone back there and see there were many hands that are raised. Yes, the closest one, the microphone, yes. I think there's another microphone back there. Yes.
My name is Caleb from Wasingishu. I have a question around glass waste. The biggest problem in Kenya right now is the issue of alcohol and drug abuse. What is the government doing to address the issue of glass bottles being recycled and used to package and sell illicit and second generational alcohol? We are now drinking poison. It's no longer the drink that we were used to.
Okay. Yes. Over there.
Good evening. My name is Kenneth Ruto. I come from an organization called Norta Tunaweza. And my question goes directly to CEC, Honorable Kotut. One, do you have a plan of improving dump sites to modern facilities because the state they are, it is not good. And also, do you have a plan of relocating it from a residential area to a place where it is not residential? Because currently it is in Iruma and Kipkenya. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, madam.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Catherine Chupkemboi. I would like to pose a question to Blessing. Blessing, what is the benefit of the society? Because most of the time you collect money from the society, but how does the society benefit from that? Another question, another comment is that I would like to commend the county government under the Ministry of Environment. Most of the time, when we do the cleanup activities, they sponsor us and they give us refreshment and some of the one, two that we need as youths. So on that point, the county government is doing perfectly.
Okay. Let's take one last one, then get their response, then I'll come for the second round. Nobody will have you. Yes. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Trevor. My name is David Lelei from Uasin Gishu Civil Society Network. I'm also the representative of FLOCA in the CSO. My question to Waziri is, what is the county government doing to incorporate other players, especially civil society, in ensuring that we tackle this issue of waste management together? Secondly, is there a plan of using FLOCA funds to support especially young people who have innovations on waste management? Thank you.
Okay. Yes, madam.
Thank you so much. My name is Odilia Chebet, and I'm a direct consumer of waste in Uasin Gishu. I do collect glass waste and crush them. And right now, as I speak, I'm looking for a market for my crushed wastes, which are glass cullets. So I want to direct this comment or question to my boss, Nema, director boss, if he could kindly highlight to us the youths who are doing waste management and collecting the waste to improve the livelihoods in Uasin Gishu, to highlight us on producer or polluter pay responsibility, because we are not sensitized on this, and we need so much information. Thank you so much.
Okay. Let's take the quick reactions first. Waziri, I'll start with you. There are many questions, then I'll come back to the audience as well.
Thank you very much, Trevor. I think let me start with a comment from the MD of ELDOWAS. He actually commented and said that, robust approach using institutions and multi-stakeholders. Yes, I agree with you. This can be done because as a way of effectively addressing solid waste in the city, we are going to use multi-stakeholders. So I think that is very good, but you also mentioned greenhouse gases. I want to say that greenhouse gases, the worst of all, which emanates from dump sites, is called methane. Methane is 28 times more potent, more dangerous than carbon dioxide. And so for the science of climate change and so on, so we need, and that is why the county government is looking at sorting out issues of dump site, and I'm going to speak about it later, but yes, indeed, that is the case. Now, Mheshimiwa Muya from Langas, I think you are right, the Swedish from Linköping City, and we went together to Linköping, but for something else. But we tried to pursue and say it now. You people came to Uasin Gishu in 20, I don't know, before we came on board, and the issue was really to see how they could partner with the county at the time to see how they can improve the efficiency of handling solid waste management. So I think that one we can, because you belong here, we can look at it. Because even me, I don't have the facts, but I don't know what happened. But yes, indeed, there is something that should be done about partners who indicated to help us as a county to solve the problem of solid waste.
So they have not held their end of the bargain. They said they will help, but they have not.
They have not. But I want to believe there are issues that could not have been ironed out at the time. But I would be lying to say I know what it is, but I want to say we can pursue and see really what happened with that. Now, he talked of companies that collect solid waste. Actually, they are not companies. These are private people which the county has engaged to collect garbage from all the estates within the municipality or within the city of Eldoret. Now, going forward, we are going to relook at that approach of these people, because these people, some come with tractors, lorries, whatever, and pick all the garbage or all the refuse and then put it together and go and dump it in the dump site without caring of really whether it is hazardous and so on and the segregation. So I agree with Mheshimiwa Muya that we need to have a conversation around this, but we cannot use county vehicles because we don't have enough vehicles even to do this kind of job. But I said earlier, Trevor, that we want to look at a situation where we partner with institutions that can give us technology in the picking of solid waste. So technology means now vehicles that are modern in the line of what even the NEMA is saying and what others have done. So we are borrowing best practices from what people have done. Now, something to do with alcohol and drug abuse and so on. Yes, there are a lot of glasses that people throw it, and then other people pick it to recycle, to repackage, or to pack alcohol which may not be fit for human consumption. So it is an hazardous thing. I agree with you. County is looking at it through the Department of Health. Improving current dump site, yes. The current dump site will fall under the new county program where we are looking at sustainable waste management as per the National Act of 2022. And I said earlier, the county has gone ahead to buy or to acquire land in Lorua, 19.5 acres, and we are working with NEMA to ensure that people who will be in this new program will be able now to relocate and dump it in Lorua. Yes, refreshments, yeah, we try to, Trevor, we try to give students, young people, and I don't know whether it's really Gen Z, but yes, we give refreshments, but they help us a lot. We use everybody in a certain time to clean the town.
Okay.
Floka, he said the County Climate Change Act of 2021 spells out what the member said, and some of this is really, because Floka is a World Bank and Ministry of Finance and Treasury working with all counties, and so this act is helping us to leverage on what we need to do as a county to ensure that players in this space are also involved and they play a part. And the idea is inclusivity, everybody to be part and parcel of this business, which is going to be a business when it is fully defined and it is going to work for the county government of Uasin Gishu. I think that's all for me.
Yes, Solomon.
So thank you, Trevor. I think for the issue of the bins, you've mentioned about it. Waste management is a devolved function. So we are calling upon the county government, if they can go ahead, try and come up with those bins with the colors I've told you they are being gazetted, so that we'll have the 3 different colors, recyclables, organic, and other ways, so that in case of, I started with issue of the infrastructure. I've seen in other places what they do, for Monday they'll collect organic waste, for Tuesday they can collect these other waste that way. So that's at least they're able to do that. Then there was the issue of the FLOCA on the incorporating other players. We have the County Environment Committee that comprises of our lead agencies, and also there are 6 government officers where we have the representation from the FBOs, faith-based organizations. We have representation from the business community. We also have the representation from the civil societies and others. So that one, the County Environment Committee brings us out, all the players together. We usually have meetings, quarterly meetings, and we chat away as an environmental committee, a gazetted committee. So you are there for 3 years, and it's renewable. And on the issue of the glasses, my friend mentioned about issue of glasses. That's why I told you the new kid on the block, the Sustainable Waste Management Act of 2022, stipulates the issue of the extended producer responsibility, so that we'll have these producers, all their products, they introduce to the market through the product life cycle up to the post-consumer. So if you're producing that bottle, probably for a certain drink, you have to make sure that at the end of the day, it's not used in other criminal activities, it's not used for packaging, other materials. I can give an example of EPR started a long time ago, like I think in Canada. No, in Canada it was there in 2012. Sweden, in fact, it started from Sweden in 1990. Then went to Germany, 1991, then France. So in Kenya and in Africa, it was started in South Africa in 2010. Then in Kenya, we have the Petco. I don't know how many have heard of the Petco. Petco are these bottles that we are using. They are made of polymers. So there's a company that came together. That's Pet Company. They came together in 2017. So they are getting funds from these companies, industries, to ensure that waste, the waste bottles are collected. So if we can do the same, as my sister said there, she's doing a lot of good work in collection of the bottles. If we can come together as a group, then get support from these industries. And that's why we have now the extended producer responsibility. We are rolling it out. Last week we had counties. We brought together 10 counties, county government staff from the Environment Department. We were in Naivasha. We were taking through these acts, Sustainable Waste Management Act. So we are working closely with the county government so that it can be implemented now. So a group like that one will come together, get support from these industries to ensure that whatever you are crashing the glasses, they facilitate you to do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Blessing, there's a question for you as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Trevor. So my friend asked here the benefits the society gets from us, those who offer collection of garbages. First of all, we have created employment opportunities to our youth. Both the skilled and unskilled have been able to secure jobs from such an enterprise. The second one is there is improvement of health in the community. Now through the collection of garbages, there is reduction of diseases. Even the health facilities can attest for that. Diseases such as cholera, typhoid, there is reduction of such diseases because there's no accumulation of dumpings. Third one is there is improvement of the environment. The environment has become conducive because the garbages are being collected and transported to the dump site when they're already sorted out. So the environment has become conducive and there is no careless, the rate of careless dumping has reduced. Yes, just to mention a few.
Jabez, when you hear the concerns from the people there, what do you think is the best way of dealing with this in terms of incentives so that it's not who gets what and the people feel the collective responsibility to deal with waste?
Yeah. Thanks, Trevor. Maybe just to add into the comments by Waziri and Director, and I like the comments and the questions that have come from the audience. And it just proves that this challenge is not one that can be handled or managed by one party. We all have a part to play in in contributing to the solution. And so when they talk about a multi-sector committee that then tries to address this challenge, in the SWIFT program we are particularly doing that. We are doing that in two fronts. One at national level, where we are going to set up a sectoral committee that will look at the different issues around the Sustainable Waste Management Act, and that committee will be comprised of private sector, public sector, waste collectors, associations, and everyone who's playing within the sector, so that it's representative of the real challenges that people are experiencing. There's someone who has talked about the dump site and how it can be advanced to a modern facility. The idea or the ideal situation is to have material recovery facilities domiciled in each county. This is a cost-intensive process, and we know it will not happen overnight. But what we can do around the incentives is how we can ensure that we are promoting private sector investments to be able to facilitate that. So for the SWIFT program, we are going to work with the sector committees that will form at county level, and we'll also build their capacity to be able to form incentives around dripping of investment in that sector, but also building their capacity to be able to be clear what is the value and what is the benefit that the counties will be able to get by setting up these facilities.
Okay.
In an ideal situation, we would want to see counties actually making money and reducing the cost of living through these facilities. So if, for example, they were to set up an energy-to-waste plant, a waste-to-energy plant, how can that contribute to the production of electricity and that contributing into the national grid, and how can that then be able to bring down the cost of electricity and the cost of running industries within this sector. I think finally there are youth in the room, and they've asked how do they tap into these opportunities.
Yeah.
Through forums like this, we are creating awareness about the opportunities that exist. And for the SWIFT program, like I said, we are going to run another call. And when we reach out to you, please, whatever innovation you're coming up within the waste management sector, tap into that opportunity. We can be able to support you. We know that you need this support to be able to skill up your business, but also to be able to build it to create jobs. And that's how we envision that all of you can come on board and participate in this challenge.
All right, let's take a final round of questions here. Then when we come to our panelists, you'll be giving your comment as you wind up as well. Yes, where's the microphone over there? Yes. And then there's back there. Yes, very briefly, 1 minute each so that we get as many as possible. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much. My name is Ronald Ouma. I have a concern and also a challenge to the three panelists, that is Old Uganda, NEMA, and our CEC. The Old Uganda, I want to challenge you that the procedures that you people are using to collect the waste might lead you to challenges. What you can do is here. Who do you engage when it comes to garbage collection? Do you engage the schools? And if you engage the schools, are the pupils aware on the dangers and the importance of this waste? You know, now when you do that, at least I won't, or my son or daughter won't allow me to just expose to garbage just anyhow. He will tell me that, Mommy or Daddy, we can use this for this and this. NEMA, let me tell you, we've kept on claiming and complaining of the plastic papers and the jewelers and the so and so. Today I want to challenge you and bring this here, into your attention, that the raw materials that are used for these paper bags and jewelers can be used to make or to come up with a very powerful super glue and also gum. So what you can do is to invest in such an ideas and bring your attention to the youths, tell them to invent on such activities. Our CEC, the game changer to this problem of organic waste is organic or sustainable agriculture. It is high time the county government to invest fully in sustainable agriculture and involve the experts. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, the microphone is over there.
My name is Michael Wekesa.
Yes.
I'm a resident of Wasinigishu. I have a question to Waziri. Waziri, you talk so well about waste collection. All you are talking about waste collection and even having identified a dumping site, a new dumping site, around 19 acres. You know, when we talk about where collection of this waste, how are we going to manage it? Because it is the management that causes pollution to the environment. You talked about methane gas. That methane gas we have seen, even in some schools where people have pit latrines, has been converted into gas that can be used for cooking. Therefore, it cannot be that harmful. How about some harmful gases like dioxin that are emitted from those waste products. Have you ever thought or come up with specific ways in which that waste can be managed?
Okay.
And I have one more question to NEMA. When we talk about these polythene bags, you came up with some rules. Many people are arrested for having those polythene bags. Looking at this room today, we all have bottled water, and this is organic carbon as well as the polythene bags. What are we going to do so that we make sure we can manage this waste? You know, that is like applying double standards. You cannot restrict somebody from using a polythene bag, but you can allow somebody to go and buy bottled water, and they're of the same chemical content.
Okay.
What are the mitigations you'll take to curb such a situation?
Okay. Yes.
Thank you very much, Trevor. My name is Sila Kosgei Teregin, and I have a comment. My comment is on the need for culture change. The Sustainable Waste Management Act is very clear on this, that there's need for establishment of a syllabus or a curriculum. All this boils to the curriculum or a syllabus. Imagine our parents, imagine our children, they don't have more information on the kind of waste that they need to segregate. We need to begin from the onset, begin from our homes, and pick this so that we can be able to grow a society which is keen on solid waste management.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Silas. We haven't heard from the back there. Kindly make sure the microphone gets to them. There are two ladies back there. We haven't heard anything from that region and from that farthest end. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Trevor. My name is Kelvin, the youth president from Uasin Gishu County. And I wish to thank the county government led by Dr. Jonathan Mcheleli Mbii for ensuring that our city, the incoming city Eldoret, is becoming clean every time with the leadership of Waziri Kotut. Secondly, I would wish to ask the CEC, since he is the lead minister in the department, how are the youth going to tap into opportunities since we are having the new municipalities within the county? How are we going to ensure that the youth within the county are going to benefit on the waste management programs so that our youth are going to tap on those opportunities so that we cannot be having private sectors coming to benefit from something that our youth should have minimized or maximized as their job opportunities.
Okay.
Secondly, and since we are in the conversation with the county government, I lead an organization called Uasin Gishu County Youth CBO with the YK27. Since we are having a conversation as youth to ensure that within the county government or within the municipalities or towns within the county, how is the department going to ensure that the CBOs or the organizations are going to use those opportunities? For example, we are going to have a cleanup exercise in support of the fifth city. How is the county government going to ensure that they partner with other CBOs for the youth to use the opportunity to clean the town, and at that time we generate a small job opportunity for our youth? Otherwise, the county government, we wish to support them. They are doing a great job. Okay. For NEMA.
Very briefly, yes.
Okay, thank you. For NEMA, we wish to ask you, since we wish to support them, they are doing a great job. Okay. For NEMA.
Very briefly. Yes.
Okay, thank you. For NEMA, we wish to ask you, since we are the youth of this region, we wish to ask you that the opportunities, as Ronald has said, what you have said, ensure that whatever you are saying is going to be implemented.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Back there's some two ladies. Yes.
Okay. Trevor and the rest, my name is Banis Kitum. I am a waste collector, and I'm on the ground. And the reality is that the issue on the ground is really very complex, that I feel like it needs a more coordinated and a very realistic approach than what we are really putting here on policy. I think the centrality of the Waste Management Act of 2022 is around setting up material recovery facilities instead of the dump sites. And I wanted to hear from the county government what plans do they have around that, because it's very important. And then also, do we have clear guidelines on the management of the MRFs, probably in terms of cost? can private investors or private groups get into setting up and running an MRF? And then the second one is to the county government. During our waste collection, we realized that there is very low adherence. There is a lot of resistance from the people on garbage collection. So I was asking, what plans do the county government have to enforce the environmental laws and to make sure that people are aware around it? Because enforcing alone without awareness is going to create a lot of resistance. So what plans do we have around that? And then lastly, on the extended producer responsibility, I think that is also another central part towards Sustainable Waste Management Act. And I was asking, where is the coordination? Where is the coordination between the waste management, those people who are in waste management, like the waste collectors, how are they going to be linked to the extended producer responsibility? Because I believe that that is a source of, or resource area that can, if well coordinated, it's going to ease the burden on the waste collectors and also on, it bring the resources that are needed.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. There was someone next to you as well there. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Then let's get two more at the farthest end and then we'll close. Yes.
Thank you. My question goes as I'm adding on the question that my wise lady has asked on the issue of material recovery facility. In Uasin Gishu County, the waste that is produced, 95% is a resource. It can go back to the market. So from the national county, the county climate change action plan, we have seen that the county is planning to set up that material recovery facility. What are the plans?
Okay.
Just simple as that. What are the plans? Okay. For us as a group, we are dealing with the organic waste, glass waste. We are recycling the organic waste. We have been in the sector since 2005.
Yeah.
08. Apologies. Since 2008, when we didn't have the devolution government, we used to work with the Warren County Council, and it has transformed to devolved governments, and we are now 10 years down the line, and we have seen the dump site increasing in terms of waste. And that's how we identified our waste as a resource, where we are recycling the organic waste from the dump sites as a socio-economic activity for the youth, because we are talking about the Sustainable Development Goals. So what's the county doing to promote that through the FLOCA?
All right.
And another question for
very briefly,
NEMA, the final question to NEMA.
Yeah.
We have the Education for Sustainable Development Program under NEMA, which is trying to involve the academia, communities, government, and non-government organizations. What is NEMA doing in this county to promote that education for sustainable development?
Okay. I believe that's all the time we will have, because it's almost midnight now. So I'll start with you, Jabez, so that you give just closing remarks as well as you react to some of the questions that have been asked. And then we head this way. And Waziri, you have the bulk of them, so you will finish for us. Yes.
Thank you, Trevor. I think civic education is very important. Yeah. If you look at the model around 4K clubs and what it did to agriculture, and having children understand the importance of agriculture, as it was embedded in the curriculum for schools, then we grew up knowing what was the contribution of agriculture to the economy. I think we need to do a lot of civic education, and that can be embedded in the curriculums, and we are looking forward to how that can be adopted even in the CBC curriculum. There is a lot of conversation around what MRF facilities should do and what has been outlined. Unfortunately, what the policy has outlined is the provision of MRF facilities at the county level. How and when that will be done is still up in the air. And that's why we are having this conversation. And so how can we work together? Because in an ideal situation, even before we get to the point of burning waste to energy, there are options of refuse where you don't use. There's an option of reuse. There's an option of refurbish. There's an option of recycle. There's an option of upcycling. And then the final one is where you actually burn the waste and turn it into energy, but also mitigate the hazardous gases that come out of that by neutralizing them so that they come out as either water or steam. So that is the conversation we're having. It is a responsibility that the county has, but we are cognizant that it cannot be done by the county alone. And so working together with the authority, working together with the associations of waste pickers, how can we work together to be able to model that? Because the other risk is, as we said, the sector is highly informal, and with the setup of that facility, it means probable that people will lose jobs. How do we ensure that that does not happen? Okay. Because you don't want to have gains on one end and have losses on another. Okay. So those are the conversations that we're having, and we don't have the solutions, all of us. So we'll work hand in hand with the people in this room and other people in the sector to ensure that the gains made in one sector do not result to another loss in another sector. Okay. Closing remarks, just to say that we all have a part to play in this, in making sure that we move what is currently here. As we have talked, we can clearly see that the sector is highly linear. And the idea is to move it from being linear into circular. And we have the responsibility as waste producers. There's the clear responsibility of what the authority does. There's the responsibility of counties. But more importantly, we have a part to play, and we believe we can do that. So from KCSE, it's our commitment that, one, we will support the innovators that are coming up with solutions, build their capacity for them to be able to create businesses that are creating wealth and opportunities for the communities around them. Okay. But also we'll work with the national government and the county governments to ensure that the challenges that they have faced, we've been able to address them. And hopefully in the next 3 years, this conversation will have taken a different direction. Okay.
Blessing? Yeah. Thank you, Trevor. Okay, there was a question that was asked. So who we engage in the collection of garbages? We do not engage children. What we do is we create awareness to the community by teaching them on the importance of waste management. And for the employees we have employees who do the collection of garbages now. What we do is we provide for them PPEs that will prevent them from health hazards, and we also pay for their NHIF on a monthly basis. My closing remarks is I would like to pass my appreciation to the county government of Uasin Gishu through our governor, Honorable Chelili, for enabling us to get a license for our enterprise, and also to NEMA for enabling us to get a license. And also I would like to pass my appreciation to the municipality of Eldoret, led by the town manager, Tito Koyet, for enabling us to secure a tender to do the service of garbage collection. I would also like to pass my appreciation to the Kenya Climate Innovation Center for selecting us to be part of the SWIFT program in utilizing the organic waste into organic fertilizer. Also, I would like to pass my appreciation to the All Uganda Road members who are present in this place, and my family members. Thank you so much, Trevor.
Right. Solomon, you have questions, and then you give your closing remarks as well.
Sure. Thank you for the panel. So the issue of the polythene bags, you talked about using the raw materials. Currently in Kenya, we don't have producers of the flimsy bags. I had indicated earlier, the challenge we're having is our porous borders. Whatever we, probably the laws, the regulations that we have, probably they are not enforced in our neighbors. So the challenge we're having is the porous border, where we're getting those polythene bags. In Kenya, from 2017, when the ban was imposed, we don't have the production of those ones. So for the plastic bottles, now what you're having, the solid waste management, sustainable solid waste management, it outlines the issue I've talked about, I will not repeat again, the extended producer responsibility. Then we also have the facilities, like for Eldoret, there's a company at KIE that is shredding those plastics, and they are producing the wheelbarrow tires. They are also producing posts. So at our length, the plastic bottles, they are recyclable. So that's the approach we are taking, and also the approach of the extended producer responsibility. It will reach an extent that we'll not be having, like the ministry has banned the use of plastic bottles in the forests and other national parks. So we are going to that. As we enforce, we get the alternatives. So we are heading to that place, and that's why we are enforcing the extended producer responsibility. Then the issue of setting up, my sister there asked the issue of the MRFs. MRFs, they are being coordinated from NEMA. As I said last week, we had a meeting with the county government, the presentation from the county government and the county environment committee. We were taking them through the solid waste, sustainable solid waste management, and then the issue of the MRFs. The MRFs can be done by the county government and the private investors. The Act outlines the role of each entity. So you are free, like if you are doing the solid waste collection, you are free to set up MRFs through working closely with the government. Currently, we are working on the draft regulations for the extended producer responsibility. We have a draft. So with time, we'll be calling for public participation so that you can give your inputs, how you want it to be run. And so you have said you have the draft APR. So if you are not very far, as you say that as NEMA, we are having that responsibility. And my closing remarks, as said earlier, the issue of the waste management being a devolved function wants a holistic approach. You know, I follow you, Teresa, your vehicle, you just take your water, throw the bottle out of the vehicle. You know, let's change our attitude as our colleagues say. If we change the attitude, work holistically, we'll be able to tackle the issue of the solid waste management.
Okay.
Thank you.
Waziri, you have the bulk of the questions, and then
Yes,
you give your closing remarks as well.
Thank you, Trevor. Let me go straight into the questions. One, the issue of garbage in schools and what is happening or what is the county government doing and the Department of Environment in terms of, I think most of what the NEMA director said, plastics he talked of being converted into other products. So I want to say that in schools, garbage is really something that is in the process of being incorporated into part of what we call rural, by the company, rural water and sanitation. Sanitation includes really taking care of waste, solid and liquid waste in schools and other peri-urban centers within that environment. So that one, the county is up to it, and it is part of the changes and the recommendations that are being made. Two, collection of garbage is an issue. The member said, yes, dioxin, methane, and he talked of even in schools. The issue of latrines, this is where a lot of methane is produced. And again, in the farms, a lot of methane is produced from cow dung and so on. And I wanted to say that this it will be handled by the company. Part of the company's responsibility and mandate is to look at what is in the rural areas and especially schools, because in schools that have latrines, those are in the rural areas, but schools in town are using the conventional sewer usage. So I think that should be something that I want to say it is in work in progress, and the county is up to the task, and we will be working on it. Syllabus, a comment, syllabus for people to really understand sustainable waste management according to the Act of 2022. Yes, it is a requirement that people are informed. Part of what we are doing tonight is really public information, public participation to people to understand really what is going on, especially as we expose you to the Act of 2022. How does the youth benefit in this arrangement? I want to say the county government has enacted a youth policy and the Youth Act of 2024. And in that act and the policy, it has spelled out how the youth will be incorporated into all activities of the county to be able to be part and parcel of what the county will be doing in business and enterprise. So the youth will be, as you shall see going forward, the youth will be involved. And you see again, His Excellency the Governor has every intention to put a budget to this, to implementation of this policy. Quickly, Trevor, again, in the interest of time, so the youth will be taken care of. And so even in terms of collection of garbage, solid waste, the company of the lady here of Uganda said youth will be playing a role in this innovation and enterprise in solid waste. So part of that will be taken care of by the county. Waste collection is not coordinated. It is the private sector collectors and so on. Yes. What is happening is as we go forward to organize ourselves, as we become a city, we will be dealing with players in the collection of waste from all the areas, and the approach we'll be using will be different from what is currently being used, and so we will be able to address that. We are aware that there tends to be confusion here and there, because private collectors in various places have also challenges and issues. Now, the issue of MRF and EPR. You asked and said MRF, that is Material Recovery Facility, is really a product of this act of what you call sustainable solid waste management. And also EPR is also a product of the same. And the director of NEMA has clearly put it. So those two go together. And part of the MRF, which will be Lorua, the MRF facility in Lorua now will be different from the conventional way of the dumping site in Uruma as you know it. So because you see in Uruma what happens is people collect all the waste and they dump it. But you see now a recovery facility will be something different because the approach according to the Act of 2022 will be playing in force.
Okay.
Quickly, public awareness and civic education, yes, it's very important. And this is one of the situations where we have come tonight, and a lot of people have watched this. And so we are able to be doing this, Trevor. And I want to thank our KCIC, my friend Opio, for really the time he has taken, and thanking you, Trevor, for coming to Eldoret. I know you are a Nairobi guy, but you have managed to come to Eldoret. And you, so we will be able to do this a lot, and in the process, we will enlighten people to know more about how to handle waste. So I want to thank you on behalf of the county government of Uasin Gishu, His Excellency the Governor, Dr. Jonathan B. I want to thank you for coming and for spending time and for the interest you have shown in solid waste in Uasin Gishu County. Thank you very much, and I hope we engage again in future.
Thank you so much. That's why we leave it, ladies and gentlemen. Asante sana for making time, and special thanks to Uasin Gishu County for hosting us, and also special thanks to Kenya Climate Innovation Center, KCIC, for making this conversation possible. There's no given time we've ever talked about waste management and had enough time. We've been added 30 minutes, more 30 minutes. It's almost midnight now. We have to end it there, but special thanks to Jabez Mutune, who is the program manager, SWIFT, which is the Sustainable Waste Innovation for a Future in Transition at KCIC program. Thank you so much. Blessing Mzungu, coordinator, Old Uganda Road Enterprises. Asante sana. Solomon Kihiu, Uasin Gishu Director of Environment, that's NEMA, and Dr. Samko Tutsi, CEC Environment, Water and Climate Change, Uasin Gishu County. Asante sana, and thank you all for your patience and for engaging us through this discussion. And to say on behalf of everybody else who made this possible, we say good night and God bless. My name is Trevor Ombija. Bye for now.